raven cawed, "There he is!" And they ran away, cawing. They knew he had the core, didn't they? And they were afraid of it. Little did they know, he couldn't use it.
Wait. If they didn't know he couldn't use it... Yes. A sword can be powerful without ever being drawn from its scabbard.
Damn, this thing. Oh, okay. Now it has the game right. Like, cause last time it said I was playing that. Where I go now? Oh, man. I goes to there.
Two eyes good. One eye dead. The long stairs. So he was close to the rebel base. Nothing was on fire. So far, so good. I must still open this chest though. Hopefully my internet holds out this time. I don't know why he's acting this way. Renato barely made it to the hideout when he was shoved into a meeting room. He laid out his plan. They were shocked. Bluff the Emperor with an unusable weapon?
Yeah, it's brilliant, laughed Renato. He keeps sending ravens, none of them come back. How does he know it's my sword?
I suppose there's no harm if it fails. Take the Sky River into a firing position,
Croaked the speaker.
I shall attempt to hail him by far, Speaker.
It was a huge bluff. Renato had no cards to play. Just a weapon that could maybe destroy everything he hated and everything he loved. Could he be sure it wouldn't work? No, of course not. Of course the Emperor couldn't be sure it wouldn't work, and he must believe in ancient weapons if he hoped to bring back the lost gods, right? What terms could he offer Isengrim III? Now, he would have to step down, obviously. And accept the rebellion? Was that asking too much? Maybe Renato would ask him to make Zenobia Empress. Yeah, his daughter, after all. She would never sacrifice innocent kittens and puppies to bring back the lost gods. No. Renato had to seem confident. Overconfident, even. Like he was sure he could blow up the Emperor's ship to hell. I mean, who believes a cautious bluff?
You know, this narrator is exactly right. You gotta pull up on him like, I'll kill us both, motherfucker. You think I got shit to live for?
there
This is
it was
probably like
again.
the only time I hope Zero doesn't
Back
come
door
in
to
here
the portal
because
that went to the center of the fleet.
that nigga's been calling me a furry for like the past few weeks now, and like this game does not help my argument that I'm not a furry. Unfortunately. See that slow-mo there, boy?
Oh, it was strange. Fighting to place a weapon he could not use. But he could end the war tonight with just a threat. So much more humane than destroying a ship or an entire fleet. And then he would destroy the Sky Ripper in case some other adventurer was tempted. You never knew about some of these other foxes. Soon, it would all be over.
Combat in this game isn't very complicated, but it is satisfying.
Soon he'd confront the Emperor. Again. This time, he'd make an end of him. He'd screwed up last time, but he had a good feeling about this time.
Okay, let's get this on the road.
He set up the Sky Ripper and let it warm up. Zenobia came out, flanked by a whole platoon of ravens. "I know you, Reynardo. You won't actually use that," she said. "I know what the scientists told you, that it would totally blow up your fleet. You're reckless, Reynardo. Bold, dashing, brave, devil-may-care, wild, impulsive, hasty, rash, sometimes even a little harebrained, a bit feckless even. You just don't think things through. Oh, get to the point, woman. But you're not crazy. How do you know I didn't go crazy?" demanded Reynardo, doing his very best to look crazy. "Well, go ahead then. Press the trigger." Oh, damn her. She'd seen through him again. She never fell for his bluffs. This was the moment to do something brilliant. To come up with exactly the right thing to say, to make a heroic move. That's what heroes do. Oh, but he couldn't think of anything that wasn't obviously stupid. He was too shocked to move. Her ravens came and seized the Sky Ripper. He stared as they pushed it over the side into the abyss. "Hey! Oh, I fought really hard to get that. It should never have come back." And he had to admit she was right. She had always been right. It was one of the frustrating things about her. Years later, as he rotted to his death in an Imperial prison cell, Reynardo was still trying to come up with something clever and heroic that he could have done in that last moment.
Damn.
But he never could. Oh, again?
that he already had all the secrets he needed. He was sure of that. He must have not used them the right way. What was the best, worst mistake he could make?
Okay, that's another one
Probably
down.
trusting that traitor Lapino. The book's pages fluttered to the beginning once again. Faster than before? And he fell. The clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer. Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced. Bernardo knew that using it could go catastrophically wrong. But he was sure he could figure out how to use it safely. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Iblis Stone was hidden there. It was a dangerous artifact. It could corrupt its user into a bloodthirsty monster. Maybe he could find a way to use it. To take its power without surrendering to its wickedness. And also, his old friend Lapino needed rescuing. Of course.
We are not doing Lapino.
Bernardo
yet.
had a pretty strong suspicion that Lapino
I know
had
how to
betrayed
get to the
rebellion,
good ending,
and he had
but
a
I
gut
gotta
feeling
get through all the
that
other
he needed
endings
to use that
because
to
I
his
want to platinum the
advantage.
game. So I'm gonna go get Armature, get Core, and then go Zenobia.
Every child knew about the Sky Ripper. The Transcendent Emperor had buried its pieces deep. And then, this Emperor's horrific sacrifices had brought it back to the surface. Bernardo wasn't exactly sure how to use the legendary weapon. But surely, there must be some way to do it without provoking another catastrophe. Had he, somehow, summoned the long-lost components of the legendary
Also, what's
weapon
up,
out of the
whoever
deep
showed up
places
in
of
chat?
the Earth? It was more than Bernardo could fathom. But if he could find a legendary weapon, he would use it.
Hope you had a nice Wednesday.
As he set foot on the island, Bernardo couldn't help feeling a bit curious. Was Lapino still waiting to be rescued? No. He was probably drinking champagne with the ravens. Did ravens drink champagne? Did rabbits? Bernardo felt oddly thirsty, come to think of it. Why had he chosen the Sky Ripper? Bernardo never made plans that required constant vigilance. He was a hero. He didn't think too much. He just went with his gut and hoped it all worked out. The Sky Ripper was a long shot. He'd have to devote himself to it. No side journeys, no rescuing old friends. That was against his nature. Could he stick with it? Hey, how do you tell if someone's far away or just really small?
I love stopping time in this game. It's overpowered, but it's pretty fucking cool every time.
There had to be a way to use the Sky Ripper without causing a catastrophe. Why? Maybe it's always dangerous, he imagined Zenobia saying. Always the voice of reason, that one. Well, there had to be a way to use the Sky Ripper because not being able to use it was boring. So there. Long live the Emperor! Called the ravens.
I gotta look up who the narrator is. He did a really good job this whole game. Like, I've had this game for like 5 years, at least 5 years now. I still never looked up who the narrator was. Shit. Holy shit, I'm almost dead. Gotta take my time with this one. Because I will actually die if one of them looks at me. Thank God for the healing sword. I was supposed to do this.
What was the point of this gate? Did they think no one would notice the lever?
Ah, shit. Or do I? That is. I didn't know I leveled up again.
There it was.
So, armature is an
Skyripper's armature. The stuff that dreams are made of. Engineers' dreams, anyway. How is it part of a weapon at all? He'd have to ask a scientist. But first, he'd get the second piece. Skyripper had a heart. A core that had come to rest on the next island. Well, there was another island he could reach. Zenobia had just invaded it with her father's Raven battalions. She must be encamped there still. But fighting Zenobia now, that made no sense at all. He'd already sacrificed one friend to get this armature, was it? He didn't need to hurry to face her. She would find him.
We are going to Zenobia because we have not done that.
Leonardo asked himself why he changed course to confront Zenobia. He'd no idea. Sometimes he would just do things, and he could never figure out why he'd done them. Usually, they worked out. After all, he was a hero. The truth is, though, he wanted to see her, wasn't it? It had been a dozen years since Swordfu School. He'd followed every rumor about her, every scrap of news. Not that he still loved her. After all, she was his enemy. No, it was solely because, know your enemy. All right, maybe he should stop pretending. He knew exactly how she felt about him. But their love affair always ended with a tragic death. Unless, maybe he could find a way to dodge tragedy. Surely he could, couldn't he?
Yes, time stop. My favorite. Like, he's no Dante or Sora or Luger, but Ronaldo is pretty broken in this game. Like, once you get him all leveled up, it's more of just you're playing for the story and like the fun of beating shit up rather than the challenge. Not that it was ever like too challenging, this game, but like after a while you are just stomping people. Well, stomping them. Like, you don't even have to fight them sometimes, you can just fling them like that. Yo, what up? Can you hear me alright? I was a dumbass the last time I streamed. I forgot to turn my mic on. Okay, that's good. Like, I don't know why my mic is so trash when I use it on my computer.
It looked like they'd forgotten to turn off their flamethrower.
But yeah, this is just a small game from like 2016. Like, probably one of my favorites. It's just one of those stories where like you keep this fox, he's trying to win a war, but he keeps getting smoked. But this book he got from this kid that got killed before he did, it keeps sending him back in time. So, you know, it's just one of those stories where you keep going till you get it right. I beat it back in 26. Like, I beat it back when I first bought it on Steam. Not Steam. I got it on GOG. Like, I beat it there, but I didn't get every ending. I already know how to get the ending, the good ending. Fuck, I just can't do it. I already know how to get the good ending. I just want to get all the other endings. I'm trying to platinum the game. That's what the cool kids call it.
Ow, 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 ow.
Okay, yeah, this.
He couldn't do worse with Zenobia than he'd done with the core, could he?
I forget this is a shortcut or not. Switch swords.
Sleep tight, thought Renato.
Hey, knock it out.
Renato wasn't entirely sure how he was going to capture Zenobia. She'd be expecting him. And he didn't have Lapina
do I stream
to
off?
cook
Hell
up a
no.
clever plan. Why was it again that he hadn't got the core? Maybe because the results tended to be disastrous. These streets were familiar.
I was about to stream Persona,
now,
but
he had been down that street 1,000 times. He knew that pub.
I need to play Persona. That game's been on my PS4 for like 2
He knew
years
the
now.
alley behind it much too well. No wonder Zenobia had chosen to invade this island herself.
Also, I do hope one of my homies that doesn't come in the stream, because he's been making it a joke to call me a furry for like 2 weeks now. And like, this game doesn't make the strongest argument that I'm not a furry. Okay, cool, I got the time spot.
Reynardo slinked through Zenobia's ship, making no sound at all. Where were her guards? Finally, he reached her bedroom. She was curled up on her bed. Oh, he'd forgotten how beautiful she was. How sleek.
Look, man, you don't know how bad it is. I made one offhand comment about Rouge the Bat, and now I'm a first.
She vanished. And he suddenly noticed he couldn't move except his mouth. In fact, soon he couldn't keep his mouth shut. He told Zenobia everything. Skyripper, the Iblastone, even where the secret rebel base was, until he was hoarse. It was some kind of truth spell. A talky truth spell. She called her father by Farspeaker Toad and filled His Majesty in. But why didn't he get the core? Croaked the Farspeaker in something like His Majesty's croak. Because I missed you, darling. Reynardo grinned. He doesn't even know why, frowned Zenobia. That makes no sense. It's a trap, shouted the Emperor. I'll meet you at the outpost, and I'll bring my interrogators. If Reynardo came face to face with the Emperor, maybe he could assassinate him. But maybe it would be smarter and safer to turn Zenobia against her father.
But yeah, man, like I forgot why. But I made like some comment about Rouge the Bat. And now he's just branded me a first.
You're lying, she said. Somehow you're lying. The spell hadn't worn off yet. He had to tell the truth. The trick was in making sure she wouldn't believe it. The core is perfectly safe, he said. And he tried his hardest to sound sincere. So is the Iblastone. In fact, I was trying to get them myself. Fine then, interrogators it is, she said angrily. I gave you a chance. The Emperor's interrogators were not especially gentle, even by Weasel standards. Fortunately, Zenobia had locked him in the guest quarters on her ship, and she'd forgotten it had a toilet that, like all skyship toilets, could be vented into the abyss. This was not the sort of slippery fox he wanted to be. But just as they were about to land, he threw the latch, wrinkled his nose, and leapt through the open latrine.
That's dedication. That's fucking dedication. I ain't going through no fucking toilet. I know what people do to toilets.
It was a short, safe
I use one every day.
At least this part of the Nexus hadn't changed too much. Zenobia had been taking him to the Imperial outpost. She'd never expect him to go there by himself. Well, maybe she would. You never knew with her.
Yo, Tyler, have you tried Marvel Snap at all? I forgot about it for like a month, but now I'm back to playing it now. The game's pretty fun. It's just that now that I'm in, like, what's it called, pool 3, like this, because you know how in like Master Duel, after you burn up those like first, I think like what is it, 10,000 gems they give you, like you gotta like actually grind.
She'd suspected a trick.
It's sort of like
Now
that.
he'd vanished.
After you get past like the
She would
first
probably
2 card
guess that was his
pools,
plan all along.
your rate of getting cards like
Maybe she wouldn't use
just
the Sky River.
dramatically
At
goes
least not
down.
without
It
taking
goes,
it to the
it goes to a
scientists at the
fucking
observatory
crawl.
first. Meanwhile, the Emperor would be coming
And
to
it's
the
not
outpost
standardized.
personally.
Like,
this could be good.
everybody gets random cards. Like it's the same card pool, but everybody gets a random card when they finally have their chance to get the card. Combat in this game is a fucking power fantasy, man.
Reynardo was face to face with the Emperor's bodyguard. They looked very tough, but the Emperor held them back.
Oh, where's my daughter?
And how would I know that? Reynardo grinned at him.
She lured me here so that you could kill me, didn't she?
Ah, don't be ridiculous, said Reynardo, trying his best to sound convincing. She loves you.
Oh, I knew it. The rabbit told me I couldn't trust her.
The Emperor hopped out the door. His phalanx of bodyguards retreated carefully. Reynardo heard someone call, "Arrest her!" as they left. Well, that's a job well done, thought Reynardo. Now the fleet will be in all sorts of disarray. But maybe he could find her in the mountains. She always used to go to the mountains to hide from the world. Maybe he could even turn her against her father. Or maybe he could reap the benefits of the chaos he had sown. It was time to report to the Rebel Council, and then launch the attack on a divided and very confused Imperial fleet.
I don't care which one of these I do. I just like I haven't done either of them yet, so that's a win for me.
Reynardo felt
My only
very
goal is just
clever
doing ones I
indeed.
haven't done already.
He told the Empire nothing but the truth, and now they suspected everything and everyone. So, why are you going to see Zenobia? He asked himself. It's not just a gloat, is it? No, of course not. Now, turning her against her father was good. It was very good. If she would actually join the rebels, that would be spectacular, right? That was definitely what he was doing. He wondered if he should have just told her the truth about her father. The Emperor had adopted her from a stray. That was the source of all her loyalty. But even then, he had been dreaming of a bargain with the lost gods. They alone could make him immortal. The Emperor would have to seal that bargain with the life of someone who truly loved him. And who else truly loved the Emperor? But how could Reynardo tell her that now? Why would she ever believe him?
Fuck, this will change up a bit. Critical chance. Doesn't really make that much of a difference, but it's fun. Oh, I forgot his stuff. Oh wait, I got him. God bless the time stop. Okay, yeah, that shield skill made my life a lot easier. I forgot how hard that was carrying me. This is not a hard game, but it's easy to die if you're bad like me. Oh yeah, like Tyler, another game that's pretty cool. I've actually played it myself yet, but I've been watching other people play it. You probably heard of it by now. It's called it was called Yomi Hustle. Today it got changed to like Your Only Move is Hustle, something like that, because fuck David Sterling. But it's like a turn-based fighter with stickmen. It is pretty fucking cool. Fucking shield. I'm gonna die, bro. I should put that shield breaker back on.
She should have trusted him. He told her the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Oh, all right. The truth was, he'd played her like a fiddle. And how often had he ever done that? She was so smart. Smarter than him, really.
Ah! Give me that shit.
He was getting nowhere. Fast.
It won't be this stream, obviously, but I do want to platinum this game. It is not pretty, but I am winning.
In this chest, there were woodcuts of amazingly beautiful vixens wearing no clothes at all. And something more useful.
I could have sworn. Wasn't there like another one or something? Alright, guess not. Oh shit. Come on. I said this back on Twitter, but I really hope in that new Spider-Verse movie they have the Japanese Spider-Man. I forget his actual name, but that dude is hilarious. And like somebody thought I was joking about that Megazord comment. Like no, like he has a real deal Megazord. He had it before. He had the Megazord before the Power Rangers had a Megazord. And it's actually just fucking hilarious. Like I hope sincerely that he's in the movie and he just called it like, okay, so like because they're all calling the shit on Miles, like the trailer makes it look like everybody's just ganging up on Miles. So, you know, obviously I don't want him to call it on Miles, but like I just want him to summon the Megazord, left of them. And then I just want to watch people go, what the fuck? these aren't the most difficult puzzles or like
Renato had given away the
obstacles,
location
but I'm
of
glad
the
they put
base.
something in.
Fortunately, the Emperor thought it was all a trap. He even mistrusted his own daughter. Renato couldn't have done better if he'd planned it.
Yo, what's up, buddy? I'm playing a game that nobody knows.
What have you done to me? Zenobia demanded. My own
Hope
father
your day's been
thinks I'm
going
a
well,
traitor.
friend.
So? But I'm loyal. So what? You're a bastard, Renato, she said. Now, you love that about me. You really did want the core, didn't you? And the Iblis Stone. Yep. He gloated. You get all that? She said to the far speaker Toad he'd failed to spot.
Yeah,
I am so relieved, my daughter.
basically,
Said
this
the far
fox
speaker. And
keeps
Zenobia
dying.
got into her ship and
Every time he
flew off.
dies, this book
Damn
he
it.
got
The
from a
old
kid
far speaker
rewinds.
trick. How would he
He's,
missed
you know,
it?
he's just trying
This
to
was
figure out a
very
way to like
bad.
survive it all.
Zenobia back in her father's good graces, and both of them ready to use the core and the Iblis Stone. He got back, and the
It's a pretty short game,
Briefly,
all things considered,
Renato thought
but
of
it's
fleeing.
pretty fun.
The odds were surely against
The fun's
him.
more in like
Never
just getting
tell me
all
the
the
odds,
different
he
endings.
told himself. The odds confused him. He preferred to trust his gut. And so he sailed on to attack the fleet. Alone, if necessary.
Yeah, this was a small game, like I don't know how long you got. I don't know how long you got, but like after this, like I can do basically a level playthrough. Basically,
There
it
were
doesn't take
many
long
rebels
to like
here,
complete
and they were
like a
disorganized. The Empire had obviously attacked the
playthrough
secret
of
base.
sorts.
The formerly secret base, whose location Renato had so helpfully
Because I want to say
pinpointed on
just
a
getting
map.
to
There
just
was
getting
still
an
time to
ending
turn around,
from
wasn't
like
there?
beginning to end.
But Renato
It's probably only
hated
like 30
turning
minutes.
around. Heroes don't turn around, they just own their screw-ups and turn them into impossible victories, right?
Because this game is on Steam.
Renato had a feeling
Combat's
that was
pretty
the back
simple,
door to
but
something.
it's a pretty cool
But
game.
what?
I come back to it a lot. Mainly because of the narrator. The narrator makes a lot of this very fun. I'm glad you didn't catch me during one of my Yu-Gi-Oh streams. You
The
would
odd
like the
thing
last time I
was,
streamed
Renato's
Yu-Gi-Oh,
personal
like I
battle
was
was
playing
going fairly
Cyber Dragon
well.
and like
The Ravens immediately in front of him were no
Like, I
quicker
was having
or
fun, but
tougher
I was
than
getting
usual.
cooked.
Where was the power of the core? Blasting him off into the abyss. And where was Zenobia?
mainly because like
She must be up to
I
something.
dropped Verte because
But whatever it was,
I need them to ban
it wasn't his
Verte and
problem.
Master Duel, bro.
Not yet, anyway. It was all going surprisingly well.
Because I was playing against some Cybergate player and like I stopped like all his lines, but because he still had two monsters on the field, he just made Verte. And then like I had to fucking deal with DPE.
Stay away from the other guy's sword, you know?
Like shit like that is why I stopped playing hand traps. Like me personally, because I switched to Destiny, I stopped playing hand traps and I just played wall breakers. Man. Yeah, I haven't been playing Master Duel too much lately. I've been playing more Marvel Snap. I think it's pretty fun. But because like I want them to add Rex turn. I just want to play Dinomorphia. But they're probably gonna add Telemint before they add Rex turn, and that makes me mad. Like yo, like just give me my boss monster.
Soon he'd confront the Emperor. funny that this whole war had come about because the Emperor feared
And like the crazy thing is, they put in
Now
Labyrinth,
it was coming
so like they've literally given you a better trap deck to play, and you don't have your boss monsters there. Like it is ass. Like I switched to Despia. I don't regret it at all. Also, I'm just gonna take the chance to guess about it. You've seen me do it like 3 times now, but like if you parry something at the last minute in this game, he gets to stop time. All right, here we go. Time to see this ending.
At last, he came to Zenobia and the Emperor. She was sealing up a kind of squat coffin, banded with lead.
So glad you're here.
Croaked the Emperor.
You will be witness to my final victory.
That's creepy, Dad, said Zenobia. But thank you. Because of your shenanigans, we tested the core. It's really unstable. It could have blown us all up. It could, said Renato, a little frustrated that she'd figured it out. Anyway, we already destroyed your secret base, so we don't need a super weapon. We're just going to bury it. Do we, torture you? Or give you a medal? Sometime later, Renato got an invitation to attend the Emperor's ritual sacrifice of his daughter. They took him out of his dungeon cell and gave him all his medals to wear. A little while after that, the lost gods returned, and the sun went black, and the Emperor ate his soul.
This is a dark-ass game sometimes, man.
Oh, again? But he already had all the secrets he needed. He was sure of that. He must have not used them the right way. What was the best, worst mistake he could make?
This is a
Probably
fucked up game sometimes.
trusting that traitor Lupino.
With these endings, man. Which one did I just unlock? It's one of these shits. Yeah, this one. Find Yamcha, find Zenobia. So yeah, so I know how to get this end. I know how to get this ending because I beat this game before on my PC back in the like 5 years ago. I'm trying to get all of these. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I got like 11 left.
The book's pages fluttered to the beginning once again. Faster than before? And he fell. The clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer. Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced. Renato knew that using it could go catastrophically wrong. But he was sure he could figure out how to use it safely. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Iblis Stone was hidden there. It was a dangerous artifact. It could corrupt its user into a bloodthirsty monster. Maybe he could find a way to use it. To take its power without surrendering to its wickedness. And also, his old friend Lupino needed rescuing. Of course, Renato had a pretty strong suspicion that Lupino had betrayed the rebellion. And he had a gut feeling that he needed to use that to his advantage.
Okay, so it's still a path I didn't see, so going for this one.
Every child knew about the Sky Ripper. The Transcendent Emperor had buried its pieces deep. And then, this Emperor's horrific sacrifices had brought it back to the surface. Renato wasn't exactly sure how to use the legendary weapon. But surely, there must be some way to do it without provoking another catastrophe. Had he, somehow, summoned the long-lost components of the legendary weapon out of the deep places of the Earth?
It was more than Reynardo could fathom. But if he could find a legendary weapon, he would use it.
As he set foot on the island, Reynardo couldn't help feeling a bit curious. Was Lupino still waiting to be rescued? No. He was probably drinking champagne with the ravens. Did ravens drink champagne? Did rabbits? Reynardo felt oddly thirsty, come to think of it. Why had he chosen the Sky Ripper?
Reynardo never made plans that required constant vigilance. He was a hero. He didn't think too much, just went with his gut and hoped it all worked out. The Sky Ripper was a long shot. He'd have to devote himself to it. No side journeys, no rescuing old friends. That was against his nature. Could he stick with it? Open, says me.
I haven't heard that one in a while. This narrator's like a lot of funny quips.
To be a way to use the Sky Ripper
I'm
without
causing
a catastrophe. Why? Maybe it's always dangerous, he imagined Zenobia said. Always the voice of reason, that one. Well, there had to be a way to use the Sky Ripper because not being able to use it was boring. So there.
I also want to replay this game's like little brother. It's called Omen Sight.
These things really slice like ham.
It's a really similar premise, but because they did it after this game, it's a bit more polished. I'm proud of myself. I've only died on stream like once, and that was before all y'all got in here. Shit. Oh yeah, I fucked up.
Give me a lever, said Archimedes, and I shall open a gate.
Yeah, yeah, I'll probably finish this run and then probably go read a comic or something. Been reading a lot of Deadpool shit.
There it was. Sky Ripper's armature. The stuff that dreams are made of. Engineers' dreams, anyway.
The device was intricate. No one alive had the skill to make a thing like it. How was it part of a weapon at all? He'd have to ask a scientist. But first, he'd get the second piece. Sky Ripper had a heart, a core that had come to rest on the next island. Well, there was another island he could reach. Zenobia had just invaded it with her father's Raven battalions. She must be encamped there still. But fighting Zenobia now, that made no sense at all. He'd already sacrificed one friend to get this armature, was it? He didn't need to hurry to face her. She would find him.
Okay, so we go for Zenobia again, but we choose the other path.
Renato asked himself why he changed course to confront Zenobia. He had no idea. Sometimes he would just do things, and he could never figure out why he'd done them. Usually, they worked out. After all, he was a hero. The truth is, though, he wanted to see her, wasn't it?
This
It
is
had been
random
a
as hell,
dozen
but I want
years
a
since Sword
Butterfinger.
through school. He'd followed every rumor about her, every scrap of news. Not that he still loved her. After all, she was his enemy. No, it was solely because...
Y'all think kids know
your
who Barney
enemy.
is?
All right, maybe
Today?
he should stop pretending. He knew exactly how she felt about him. But their love affair always ended with a tragic death. Unless, maybe he could find a way to dodge tragedy.
Like I talk about that with
Surely he could.
my buddy sometimes.
Couldn't he?
Like I haven't been around kids since the pandemic, but like, do kids really know who Barney is still today? I think they wouldn't. Like, there's no way, right?
Everybody knew you shouldn't trust a Raven further than you could throw one. But did vertical drop count?
Well, I don't need to go this way. Yeah.
He couldn't do worse with Zenobia than he'd done with the core, could he?
No, I think this is a shortcut, actually. Oh, right.
Anyone ever tell you have a lovely eye? No? Renato wasn't entirely sure how he was going to capture Zenobia. She'd be expecting him. And he didn't have Lapino to cook up a clever plan. Why was it again that he hadn't got the core? Maybe because the results tended to be disastrous. These streets were familiar. The Sword through School was closed now, but he had been down that street 1,000 times. He knew that pub. He knew that alley. He knew the alley behind it much too well. No wonder Zenobia had chosen to invade this island herself.
Hey, we got to level up.
Renato slinked through Zenobia's ship, making no sound at all. Where were her guards? Finally, he reached her bedroom. She was curled up on her bed. Oh, he'd forgotten how beautiful she was. How sleek. How soft. He tapped her on the shoulder with his sword. She vanished. And he suddenly noticed he couldn't move except his mouth. In fact, soon he couldn't keep his mouth shut. He told Zenobia everything. Skyripper, the Iblastone, even where the secret rebel base was, until he was hoarse. It was some kind of truth spell. A talky truth spell. She called her father by Farspeaker Toad and filled His Majesty in.
But why didn't he get the core?
Croaked the Farspeaker in something like His Majesty's croak. Because I missed you, darling. Renato grinned. He doesn't even know why, frowned Zenobia.
That makes no sense. It's a trap,
shouted the Emperor.
I'll meet you at the outpost, and I'll bring my interrogators.
If Renato came face to face with
There's
the
just
Emperor,
something funny about the way he says interrogators
maybe
when he's
he
in
would assassinate
the
him.
frog voice,
But
man.
maybe
It's
it would
just
be
fucking funny.
smarter and safer to turn Zenobia against her father. What are you doing? Asked Zenobia. Did you ever wonder why the Emperor adopted you? He asked her. She shook her head. He told her. His Majesty wanted to bring the lost gods back. They could make him an eater of souls, an immortal. But to seal his bargain with them, he needed a sacrifice. Someone who truly loved him. She was stunned. Furious. You're lying. Under a truth spell? It's a trick. You can't prove that. Take me to the observatory, and I will.
Damn, I want
What kind of proof
Damn, I
could you
want a
possibly
Butterfinger.
have? She said as they landed on the Nexus. Your father ritually sacrificed a village, and he left witnesses. The scientists resurrected one. Well, it's not really alive, but it can talk. A true witness. She frowned. The dead can't lie. Well, I bet they could. They just don't have any reason to. She nodded grimly. You go on ahead. I don't want the Ravens to see me.
I'm glad he pointed that out, because if I was dead, I sure would lie to the living. Well, not about something like this, but I would definitely fuck with people. Like, I'm dead. What are you gonna do about it? You can't punch me in the face for lying if I'm dead. Like, it's like how people talk shit on Twitter. Like, they know you can't physically hurt them, so like they're just gonna say whatever. Hey, like that's why I like the game, man. Like, you can do some overpowered shit once you level this guy up.
Don't you think I'd know if my father wanted to invoke the Lost Gods? Would he tell you?
Like, I already
No?
said it before,
Would
you
help
already
him?
saw it, but like, I
No,
love the
I'd burn his books.
how time stops
Why
when
do
you
you
parry
adopt a
shit.
stray cat? You don't ask a thing like that. No, not when there's no good answer, she said, her whiskers twitching.
Because the green sword heals me, the red sword, fire, blue sword, water. This black sword, it's just like a speed boost. But it's not like the most useful, but it's my favorite. because I just always like those types of abilities in video games.
With all the secrets he revealed to the Emperor, the Ravens were probably heading for the secret base. Renato began to wonder if there would be anyone left to save, if Zenobia changed sides.
Oh, that shit. Yeah, this is too good for me to get rid of. It's too good. Just knocking this, because to get rid of shields, I got a grappling hook him, but this just lets me just swing at him. But yeah, movement speed and attack speed. Yeah, like this is pretty fucking sick. Freeze enemies, set shit on fire, heal. The game is fun and like it's really fun to get all the endings. I still haven't gotten all the endings, and I beat this game like 5 years ago. Because of this, like the dude doing these voices, he is killing me. Like, he's doing the bang up job. Well, he did a bang up job with these voices. But yeah, this game, man, like it's like little brother, or I guess it's more polished sibling. On Steam, like they'll probably go on sale soon if you want to check them out. Yeah, the game they made after this, Omen Sight, is even better. Like
this chest smelled kind of
like they're both some of my like favorite games.
He hoped he didn't get it in his clothes.
But Omen Sight takes what they did with this game and does a better job with it. But this game technically has more replay value because there's a shit ton of endings for you to unlock.
The observatory was a burning hulk. Dead scientists and black feathers everywhere. The Ravens had burned the reanimated witness to cinders.
Yeah,
Renato was stunned. There goes my proof.
They're pretty fun games. Doesn't really take that long to beat them.
No rebels.
And they're not very expensive. I think they're both like $20.
Why would he do this? I don't know.
Like 20, 15, something like that.
Yes. I'll meet you on the mountains. There's something I have to get first. But could he afford to meet her in the mountains? He'd given the Empire the location of the secret rebel base. They would need rescuing.
Yeah, it doesn't matter which one I pick. I've never done these before.
Bernardo was torn. He wanted Zenobia to see the truth of her father. But she could get the truth out of her father faster without him tagging along. Meanwhile, the fleet would soon be knocking on the door of the secret rebel base. Renato had better be there when they did.
Like, the weeb in me wishes this game had Japanese dub. Not really for any reason, just
so
what I mean.
He had given the Sky Ripper's core to the Empire.
But like, this motherfucker did a great job voicing all these characters.
He hoped the Emperor didn't bring the Sky Ripper against the base. There was nothing he could do to fight a legendary weapon. Renato hated when he screwed up. One of these days, he would learn to look before he pounced. But today is not that day. He intoned for his own amusement.
But yeah, like fighting shit in this game is more like a power fantasy than like actual challenge. Like it's simple, it's simple, it's just fun. But it's no like Dark Souls or anything like that.
He thought about Hypatia. Oh, she'd been an amazing rabbit. She could talk to him about comics and talk to her son about history and battles, and talk to scholars about the ancient tomes hidden deep in the vaults of the Library of Ubar. Oh, Renato really missed her. Renato decided not to tell the Council he'd given the Empire Skyripper's core and the location of the secret base. They needed him in battle, not in the brig, right? The Raven was slumped in a pile of its own feathers, like a tree in November.
You can't stop us. The Emperor has a weapon no warrior can defend against.
What happened to you? Renato asked. But the Raven chose that moment to go to the great nest in the sky. So they'd made the cord into a weapon. And that wasn't good.
By the way, Scythe, are you ready for Gundam this Sunday? Because I'm not. I'm not ready for Gundam this Sunday, man. I'm not ready for them to do my girl dirty. Her and my boy Bob. Leave Bob alone. He's just a background character. You've been waiting for this. Yeah, you did mention like you wanted them to get past all this school shit and get to the actual like Gundam part of the show. I'm just not ready for them to like, cause you know it's gonna hurt. It's gonna come down hard on Suletta when it happens.
Hey,
like I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not looking forward to it.
Oh, I know. Because there's no I in team. The long stairs. So he was close to the rebel base. Nothing was on fire. So far, so good. Renato had never slain so many ravens.
Yeah, Bob needs a break, bro.
The base was gonna stink of burnt feathers for months.
I mean, like, he deserved it, kinda at first, but like, he's been getting shit on ever since this series started.
Has gone berserk. She attacked and destroyed an entire squadron of dropships.
This was amazing good news. He'd shown her the Emperor's evil. Now she'd gone over to the rebel side. Now is our moment. Attack! Renato exulted. They could win this thing. Zenobia commanded half the fleet. Who would follow the mad Emperor when they could follow his heir, who was wise and smart and a brilliant sorceress besides? But what about the core and the Iblis Stone? What evil could the Emperor wreak with those? As he closed in on the Imperial fleet, Renato liked his odds.
Final battle time. Yeah, like no matter what you do in this game, the final level will always be this. It's just the context changes with every ending.
This mess. He'd never set out to be a hero. When he was a kid, he'd wanted to be a great cat burglar, until his mother had explained about foxes and cats. And then the Emperor had gone mad and started sacrificing kittens to the lost gods. There were a lot of dead ravens here. Who had slain them? There it was again. The back door to the portal that went to the center of the fleet. There were raven bodies everywhere. The precision of the wounds. Renato recognized her style. It appeared that she was...
Oh yeah, Joe, this is random as hell, but ever since I saw that tweet you made about like an emotional support lesbian, I've been in shambles, dog. Like I can't stop thinking about it.
His daughter and her ravens. He wished he was fighting alongside her. But they'd meet up soon enough.
Like, ever since you tweeted that, I've been in shambles, bro. Emotional support lesbian. Like, because you know what gets me? The emotional support lesbian implies there's like an emotional damage lesbian. Like you're the nice, like if you're the nice one, that means there's a mean one. Like, you know what I mean? Like that. That's what I mean, man. Like when you tweeted that, it sent me down a rabbit hole in my mind. So, like, if there's emotional support, that means there's emotional damage and all this other shit. You definitely had both. Damn. At least your life is well-rounded, brother.
Soon he'd confront the Emperor. Again. This time.
Like you got lesbian variants. I just know lesbians.
He'd screwed up last time, but he had a good feeling about this time.
Like I have the true neutral lesbian. Got the collector's edition, you right. Alright guys. The moment of truth. Let's hope he doesn't die this time.
Zenobia was cutting down the Emperor's bodyguard like they were mushrooms. The Emperor was frantically readying some arcane instrument, brass and hammered steel wrapped around a glowing, thrumming sphere. Skyripper's core. Zenobia! Renato shouted, but he had no idea what else to say. Revenge! She shouted as she cut the last bodyguard down. A ray lanced out of the sphere. Everything around her burst into flames, but her sword seemed only to absorb it. She walked towards Isengrim III like she was walking against a river. Nothing could stop her. They were going to win. Zenobia stabbed the Emperor dead and flicked the moaning apparatus off. She was laughing hysterically. Or weeping, maybe. They had won. He ran to her. I killed my own father. She wept, and he held her. He told her he loved her. He would pull her back from the brink of madness. But the core thrummed louder and louder.
Oh no.
At that moment, Renato understood that the core was going to explode catastrophically. And that this could have been victory. The Emperor and his daughter dead, the fleet destroyed. He'd almost been a hero. A legendary one, maybe. If only he and the rebel fleet hadn't been here. Oh, again? And he already had all the secrets he needed. He was sure of that. He must have not used them the right way. What was the best, worst mistake he could make? Probably trusting that traitor Lapino.
Alright, I only got 10 left, and those are for another day, honestly. So yeah, everybody in here, I appreciate y'all watching me play. I know I'm not the most entertaining guy, and that this was a pretty random stream, but appreciate y'all coming through and watching. Game's fun. Hope you thought it was cool. Maybe you might play yourself one day. But yeah, I'm gonna call it here and probably just go read some more Deadpool comics or something. Y'all be easy, stay safe, and love yourself. That's a good thing to say.